Hey there, Big Brother fans. Some of you have just listened to me recently, and here I am talking again. It is Wednesday, July 22nd, and as I said, about an hour and a half ago, I posted in a podcast episode giving you an update on the status of the house. We are about to hit our second eviction tomorrow, and I had lunch after that podcast with some of my former coworkers who are still my friends, conveniently enough, and we were talking, and one of those friends, whose name is Jerry, is behind and asked me for how to get updated because he was frustrated. And so, again, for those of you that just listened to or have yet to listen to my podcast from earlier today, I would suggest you listen to that one possibly. But if not, you can listen to this one, or you can listen to both. But I'm recording this for my friend Jerry so that I can get him caught up completely. So if you don't want to hear a rehash of stuff that you already know about, skip this one. Otherwise, hang on, and chances are I'll talk about stuff I haven't talked about on the other ones. So here you go. Jerry, my friend. So one of Jerry's complaints is this weird thing that he didn't quite grasp, and Jerry's a casual. Jerry's a TV only, as well as listening to me talk about it. And he was frustrated with Unlocked because he skipped Unlocked. He watched the Thursday premiere episode, and then he went to, I think, the Sunday episode where it had references to things that he didn't understand because he hadn't watched Unlocked. So he had watched the premiere episode, missed Unlocked, and then watched the Sunday episode. I was like, what's going on? Because yes, indeed, Unlocked showed the beginning of the head of household competition that they hadn't shown on either of the other two. So now they are, as he called it, quoting, doing a value add to Unlocked. So you have to watch Unlocked to be considered to stay in touch with what's going on. And they will probably do that again this coming Friday, because as I explained to Jerry, oh, by the way, Unlocked is only on every other Friday, not every Friday. So yeah, you have to know that it's on, Big Brother is on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and every other Friday. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. So Jerry, my friend, on the Unlocked episode that you missed, they showed Rachel getting pushed into the volcano at the end of the episode of the premiere episode. What they didn't show on the Sunday episode was, well, they kind of teased it, but they threw it in there. So Dee, who is a Survivor winner, she won Survivor, and was on Survivor 50 as well. She won Survivor 45, I think it was, and she was on Survivor 50 along with Devins, who they showed in the premiere episode. They bring Dee out of the woods, and she joins the group, and so she is in the house. So the whole scheme was they bring in Rachel like they gave her a little redemption arc for getting killed the previous season, except they killed her off again. So they bring in Dee, and Dee is now the third vet. That is kind of what everyone is calling them in the house at this point. The vets are Devins, Dee, and Angela. And those three competed for head of household. So that's their kind of immunity too, right? Is that they're going to be the head of household, so they can't be nominated, or they won't nominate each other. They could have nominated each other, by the way. And in the end, Dee ended up winning that head of household competition. And we're going to do a quick abbreviated summary here. So Dee ended up nominating, oh gosh, now I have to think. She nominated, and I don't have my cast list here either. Oh, this is not good. Mallory was nominated for sure. I know that. And Taylor and Ashley was the renom, wasn't she? Yes, Ashley was the renom. So who was the third person that she nominated? Oh, Yash, however you say, I think it's Yash. So she nominated Mallory, Yash, and Taylor. Those were her first three nominees. And then, I'm glad I figured this out. And then they had the Power Veto competition, which was a pipe fitting competition. And Mallory, who is an aeronautical engineer, I don't think she's aerospace, I think she's aeronautical, she won the pipe fitting competition power veto, and so she took herself off the block. And so Mallory was saved by the power veto. Dee had to put someone else up. Dee put up Ashley up on the block. And the whole thing was that, don't worry, Yash is going home as long as he doesn't win the blockbuster competition. Well, guess what, Jerry, my friend? Yash won the blockbuster competition, which was basically a crapshoot. They showed a bunch of pictures on the wall of different scenarios with the house guests with stupid hairstyles, and you were just supposed to figure out which house guest was in the most pictures. And it was all this season. And as it turned out, Mallory's picture was shown the most. And was it Devins? Was it the other two guessed Devins? I think Taylor and Ashley both guessed Devins, but it was Mallory that had the most pictures. And so Yash was safe. And so it was Mallory, or sorry, not Mallory, it was Taylor versus Ashley to be evicted. Ashley, again, is the waitress / bartender from Chicago. And Ashley was voted out in a unanimous vote. So it was a landslide. Taylor just didn't have nobody saw a reason to get rid of Taylor. And Ashley was taken out. It was kind of one or the other. Taylor's been okay. Ashley just seemed a bit more of a wild card, I think, as far as everyone was concerned. So Taylor's out. Actually, the whole thing is that Ashley was going to be safe, but she got talking too much, and she told too many people that everybody else was saying she was going to be safe. And so everyone decided that if Ashley can't keep her mouth shut about this, then let's not keep her around. And so that's finally why Ashley went out. So Ashley went out, and she is out and talking on the internet, which means that she's not coming back. There's no battle back that we're thinking of here. I have yet to see Ashley. I need to check and see, because if Ashley's doing a watch party in Chicago, I'm tempted to go to Chicago to a watch party just to meet Ashley. There's not many Chicago Big Brother alumni that are super active. And if Ashley is like, hey, I'm doing a watch party, by God, I want to go to that bar and I want to meet Ashley, and I'm going to poke at a couple of Big Brother alumni to see if they would show up too, and see if we could get a little... I would love to see a trend where Chicago Big Brother people got together more than they do. Or if they get together, they do it secretly, which is also possible. But I digress. So Ashley's out. And then they did, to catch you up again, my friend Jerry, they, with Ashley evicted, they did had a household competition. And she... it's not she. It was a line dancing, square dance, not square dancing, but it was a flashback to the 1990s, early 1990s. It looked like the country music television stage or the Turner Network television stage. I don't know. Where they used to do those line dancing shows, and that's what it was. And they had to roll little pucks across a table and get high scores. And it was a process of elimination for the most part. The long story short is Devins ends up winning head of household. So now we've had Dee won the first one. Now Devins has won this one. Oh, also the special power, the time capsule thing. It turns out that, yes, of course it's a popularity contest. So of course, who's the first person to win it? It's Angela. Angela won the vote for the first popularity competition, time capsule, and it was a randomizer thing, and she would press a button and she would get a power or a punishment. Well, Angela got a punishment. She has to dress up for a week as the egg detective costume that Vincent had to wear last year. So Angela is currently still wearing an egg detective costume, and she came out and told everybody that this is what happened. And it turns out she described it properly. She actually was just basically a randomizer. And it seems like that's exactly how it's going to work for the next 5 competitions. It seems like it's a set stage, and it's fairly easy to throw the person into that room quickly and get it done. So this coming Friday, the next person will go into that room. Most likely, we think it's going to be Devins or D, because again, we think it's a popularity contest, so they're going to have the biggest followers. And so one of them will probably get the opportunity to win a power or wear a silly costume or face some kind of punishment for the week. But again, back to Devins. Devins is now head of household. Devins made his nominations on Friday. This is where, Jerry, you may want to watch tonight's episode. You may want to watch the end of Sunday's episode as well, because Sunday's episode ended on a cliffhanger with the nomination ceremony happening, but the cliffhanger part was the explosive argument that started right at the end. So Devins has nominated, he nominated, I have to think here for a second again, Lyric and Melody and Jason. But his target in reality is Rome. He wants to get rid of Rome, and that will happen, assuming that Rome doesn't win the blockbuster competition, because of the way the Power Veto fell out. In that the Power Veto competition, anybody who won it, Barrett and Angela were the two extra competitors. So it didn't matter who won it. Everybody that could possibly win it is going to use the Power Veto, which meant that Lyric or someone would come off the block. And as it happened, Devins won the Power Veto competition. Now, we haven't seen that. That'll be shown on Wednesday's show, tonight's show. Devins wins the Power Veto, and on Monday, this past Monday, he used it. He took Lyric off the block, which a lot of us thought he would take Melody off the block, but he decided that if he saves Lyric, it would gain him a little bit of possible gratitude from Rome, even though he's putting Rome up. But this way, it's not Rome versus Lyric versus Jason on the block. It is Rome versus Jason versus Melody on the block. And so if Rome manages to save himself, then he and Lyric are both still in the house, even though Rome and Lyric pretended to break up for purposes of, making them seem less suspicious. And it kind of worked in some ways, and it's obviously not broken up now, even though they seem to try to still be pretending that they are. No one thinks they are. They're also have-nots. And as I posted this morning, they were making out in the have-not room this morning, literally kissing while that table is turning and creaking. It's quite obvious that they're still a couple. All right, have I caught you up, Jerry? Is everyone else still along with me? I'm sorry. I talked longer now than I did the earlier one. I am feeling better. I think that's caught you guys up. There will be another Unlocked episode this coming Friday, which means you'll probably need to watch it because it seems like they are slipping in more stuff. Before it was bonus stuff. But yes, I do believe this season they are going to use Unlocked to give you additional information. And so they will show part of the head of household competition on the Unlocked. So they have managed to turn a 3 episodes a week show into a 3.5 episodes a week, since you only get Unlocked every other Friday. Interesting. We'll see. That's it. That's what's caught up. That's got you caught up. Not sure who's going home tomorrow. It could be it could be anybody. If Rome doesn't win the battle back or block, I keep calling it battle back. The blockbuster competition on Thursday, then he should be gone. If he does win it, I think Jason will get voted out, but it's still possible that Melody might. So we'll just have to see. So there we go. Second episode of the day. For many of you, a complete repeat of stuff you've already heard. But for my friend Jerry, should be mostly new stuff. So thanks to everybody. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.